That is a stepbrother. I was living with my father and my stepbrother in the same room. My father kept bringing different women to the house every night. And whatever they do, whenever they are making out, thinking my brother and I are asleep, we've been watching them.
What is making out?
Having sex.
Okay.
We've been watching them. So whenever nobody is around, my stepbrother and I also practice what we see them do. But we don't have sex.
Okay, abusanfo ya mo bibia kwaba eba EfieNsem so but modern so betimi I like no subscribe no share content no ede amayana obi anso atimi afa bi na ye de atu ye ho fo abere bia ye tenase efi anopa non du baako aboa mu pepepe neja ya tenase na ye the stories e ho no ede abronene story ane oba be che no emu ewrem kakra ni nyina no eye abaya bia wono ane de opotoyo kambrofo a che se nukreni ne papa ene na da wo baako but ne papa na awu agya no ekowi ase no nyame adom ne kunu epeso obefa omo ekwa abruchire afei omo enko chekenhwe a DNA test na prove se enkra mienu no baako enye ne kunu ne edia asem na asefem emu ohwem areho bomodin so betimi akan ho na yatimi aduadue sa content we mu ye as usual duabo ken e wa hase duabo
abani
bibia boko de
ami adom bia boko
na wo da ye
ten ya de achen enwe ne de ya da ye
ela unya bidi
ose
unya bidi
aduane
pachan anyumre no se ankofie ntamu tu didi
menya anwamu bidi
sa odidi okay the radio say odidi diabo ene story ne ba bedi ho nkomo no emu owrem kakra ni na no medical abobo so kakra na mepese nyina ebetimi atie ni ehu asem ne pomasibre eye pa yenti abaya ne nsem a wode beto Sofo Prince anim.
My name is Sarah. I'm a banker. I'm married and a mom of 2. For the past 2 weeks, there has only been one thought on my mind, and that is to poison myself and my 2 children.
Wow.
So when I came across you on social media, I decided to come on this show to share my story. Growing up, life has not been easy for me because my mom left me.
Se asam kakra odi kaka ne se mekire ma wasisisi ade e woni tirimu nyina ne se obe poison ho na wa poison ma mienu na e ka no ho no ade na e fa ne tirimanti mra obe hu Pastor Prince Elisha Kofi e wo social media no e na adwen se ene sade ya omra ha na ohwese obenya ogie bi afri no ha na woso onyini ni nyina no one ne papa enko ana na ete ne maame de onim ni so asokra na mena no ne papa te no e de ni siye
with my father. My father had another child, which is a boy, so that is a stepbrother. I was living with my father and my stepbrother in the same room. My father kept bringing different women to the house every night. And whatever they do, whenever they are making out, thinking my brother and I are asleep, we've been watching them.
What is making out?
Having sex.
Okay.
We've been watching them. So whenever nobody is around, my stepbrother and I also practice what we see them do. But we don't have sex.
Sa wutie awura ne nsem a wokaya edin ode to no hono no awura on say as usual eya na omomomo mudin to avoid public ridicule ne stigma nti eya omomomo mudin because obi wa ha we very good obetimi ahu voice kra ani ade nti omo voice ne kra no ye doctor ne kakra ansana yetimi abo na utia wose no one ne papa ana na tie ana ne papa nso so ewo nchen baako de ne ba nti ne step brother bia na ɔka no ho ɔmo ne papa nyina ɛte wɔdan baako mu na ne papa taa ɛde mma ba fie pa na anytime bia ne papa de ɔba bɛba no ebi wa ha na osusu se bi ɔmo da enti so ɔmo yɛ ayi a ɔmo fɔ ɔmo ho a ɔne ɔba ne fɔ ɔmo ho a na ɔmo ɔne ne bra no ɔmo ɛhwɛ abiri bi ɔmo fɔ ɔmo ho nyina na ɔmo ɛhwɛ asefimu enti wɔsesa de ne kɔso a ɛde na asi.
So we see them kiss, so we also kiss, blow job.
Enti wɔse ebedu mpampansuo bi a ɛnam de no ohu ɛwɔ ne papa ɛne mma no ɔde ɔmo ɛba ne ntino ɔne ne nua no ɛhyɛ aseɛ sɛ ɔmo etu saa anamo ne bi ne nua bɛrima no ɔyɛ ne step brother no enti de no ne papa ɛne ne girls no ɔne ɔmo bɛda dam hɔ no ɛyɛ nyinaa nso yɛ bi enti ohun sɛ na ɔmo fefe ɔmo ano enti ɔmo so fefe ɔmo ano ɔmo yɛ da blow job ne bi sɛ bi bɛrima de ne bɛrima to ɔbaa num amo ayɛ ama ne ntino no so yɛ ne nua bɛrima ne bi ɛyɛ ne step brother no ne nua bɛrima no ɔyɛ ne bi nti de ne papa ɛne mma na ɛbɛda hɔ yɛ ne nyinaa na ɔmo yɛ bi but adeɛ ɔmo anya ne sɛ bi ɔmo de ɔmo bɛrima ɔde ne bɛrima ɔbɛrima ne nua bɛrima de ne ɛbɛwura n'ase anaasɛ ɔmo bɛ have sex ɛno deɛ ɛnya deɛ ɔmo yɛ bibi saa yɛntie awura.
So we see them kiss, so we also kiss, blow job.
What is blow job?
Putting his manhood into my mouth.
Okay.
Fingering me.
Your brother?
My step brother.
Your step brother is your brother?
Yes. So that's what we've been doing. This went on for some time until my father brought in one lady that he wanted to settle down with. This woman maltreated my brother and I so badly. It got to a time he couldn't take it. So he got into a fight with my father. It was a heated argument.
Between who and who?
My brother and my father.
What was the fight about?
It was about the woman. My brother could not take the maltreatment anymore. So he wanted the lady out. So he got into a fight with my father. So out of the heated argument, my brother left the house and has not returned till date.
Wow.
We don't know his whereabouts.
Okay, enti ne step brother na no ne ewo fie ho no. Ewo ma na ne papa ne mpratwe ma ode omba ba ya no kofo oba bi ede ne bae. Na sa oba na ode ne bae na fe de oba ne betete omo. Oba ne de omo fa ateti mu ye pa. Yoma ya yade bia na ani enyan. Enti ni nua ba ma ne de enam kwan na ne maame ne de omo efa so no ebe ya ne ya. Enti no opese maame ne frifie ho. Enti eno kofa ntawantawa beto ono ne papa ntem. Ni nua be ma ne papa entem. Aje say saa ntawantawa no akasakasa na ekoso kese no. Omo kasakasa wie ya abema ni efrifie no besi na me no kasa yi. Ne step brother no and sam na ti amafie biemu da no munim ni so asompo. Wo munim ba bi kura potea. Ni nua be ma no ewo nti be call no ene ne papa ene step mother no ene wo fie ho. Ne woman and step mother no esha se so treat ni bad. Ne step mother no ko so treat ni bad anti da kro de ne papa eja bibi wo fie. An wo ye se oba befa. Enti oba back so oba befa no hu kwan a atete a maame ne ede ne famu. Wa ma koma de na no san etete ne de ne papa ne belt egwa no. Enti papa ne be hu ya ne bote eye ne ya. Enti ema ono nso ne oba no akasakasa koso wo montem. Through that no opamo oba ne pake ne niema e di frifie ho yentie de ma chechire mu ene na ye ba bebo no.
When my brother left, I was still with this evil woman. She went on maltreating me until God saved me one day. She stabbed me the whole day, and my father came to the house to pick up something he had forgotten and chanced upon the woman meting out devilish and evil treatments to me.
What was she doing to you at that very time?
She was beating me with my father's belt. My father was angry. So they both got into a fight.
Your father and the woman?
Got into a
the supposed wife?
Yes. Got into a fight and eventually she left. She packed out. So that day, my father vowed and promised me that he was never going to bring in any woman into our lives. And he kept to his word. My father didn't bring in any other woman. Our lives went on peacefully. My father took good care of me.
Enti every sabre na papa no epaki fifie ho maame ne epaki fifie ho ekoye no. Papa ne hye bo say onfo oba bia mafie o ma ne metete ne baba ne bie mu da. Ne baba ma ne de onu so apaki fifie ho kwada obi nim ni so aso. Every sabre no so ampa ne papa no edi ni bo hye so amfo oba bia ma biem. Na one ne papa sabi anije ba wo mo entem. Ne papa ebe hwe ni ye. Enti one ne papa anije pa ene ba ne ntem na ase a daughter yetete no bi etete no na nipa na free no soko no one ne papa sisi anije ana aba mo tena ese nani agiye pa eno achidi anasi.
I realized that at night my father comes to lie behind me, and then he has been touching me in a certain way, touching my back, touching my breast, thinking I am asleep, but I
was edum pempenso bi a oda ho anu ohun se ne papa ba bada na chi na ne papa so ni mu so ni so na chi so ni nufu mu so ni mu sa na ne papa dwen se bia wada but no onaye I've
been watching him. He touches me for some time and then he goes back to his bed to sleep. This continued for some time, and then we went on to another level. He gives me creams to apply on his manhood and play with it.
He gives you cream?
Yes.
To apply on his manhood?
Yeah, to play with it. That is a hand job. Yes.
It's called a hand job?
Yes, it's called a hand job. At that time, I was so young, I didn't know what I was doing.
Enti wase ne papa ne koso yes ane ma na afedi ebedu pempenso bi no ekọ next level. Next level na ekọ eni na ne say ne papa ma ne cream enku. Se onfa entwetwe ne bema ema no. No de srasra ne bema ho etwetwe no se ne yefe ne hand job. Erade yankopon. O se ne yefe ne hand job. To otwetwe ma ne saa ana ode ye na afedi edu pempenso bi a na se eni anyan pa. Wasi sade we koso a nukreni na eha adwene. Ade bia na ekoso a na eha adwene ye papa. Papa no etwetwetwe ne bema. Papa ne ma ono di nkunu fa ne nsam na otwetwe ne bema. Na otwetwe ne bema ma ne saa. Ade bia de bia oye. O ma ne ye o se ade bia koso echeye. Na eha adwene eye. But ono satem no osa. Enti no onse de hu ade kode poten a wo ye. One di oso oya abosa na papa ye ne ho stars bi ase de papa no da ne ho ase de papa ne ye ne ho ne ma bi ni ade saa but one de bia no papa ne ma ne nku na no de eye ma no wei ene bedum pampanso bi obenyini ya o sha sese okọ senior high school no ana fe ne papa ebe ye na adwen se afei die obedi because ohuru se ne ba na ni mu mia ti finally papa no ewe ne ba nansa na obawe ne krampo no o hye ase so okọ senior high school no papa ne hye ase so o kire no pornographic materials e woni phone so porn movies bi no yi bi kire no woni phone so no de bi kire no no de bi kire no santi kwata papa ne che ne to ho ewe no mfram na enu achi no afei na baba ya ade bia eye ntoaso eto antwa de bia na owe no de bia na papa ne we no enti ono so be pe ne papa no obenya wodoma ne ye pa afei obe possessive obi ba ne papa ho kura no wadwa ohun so obi aba ne papa ho pe na se ne kokwa pai ne papa nso ohun se obi aba ne ho pe na ono so ne kokwa pai afei no abedɔ ne papa ne ye papa no so aba abedɔ no enti wasi omukọ asori mpo a na so ohun se ne papa ne asori ma ne bi gina ho di nkomo kra na ye ne ya ne papa nso eye elder o se elders ne bi kra pepepe no ama ne papa kwoti omo won ne ade a se o unim na ade wasam bamba no so a ene de me be ye ode nya ade a obepe we nyina ya ade bi e course a no kura ni Satem ni na no. Na jodi onim se wanya de papa bi eye. Se no onim se de oye no enya de papa.
I realized that at night my father comes to lie behind me and then he has been touching me in a certain.
He gives you cream
Yes.
to apply on his manhood.
Yeah, to play with it. That is a hand job. Yes.
It's called a hand job.
Yes, it's called a hand job. At that time I was so young, I didn't know what I was doing. Because anytime I was doing that with him, he has been making funny noises. And it was weird to me. So we continue doing this. We do this all the time. And it went on for a very long time because I was young. Then I got admission into the senior high school. I was a day student. And this time around, I had become a full-grown woman. I knew what was good and I knew what was bad.
Good. Bema. Bibia bako de.
Amia bibia bako.
Wati abaya ne nkomo ni bi kakra. So wutie na mpempen so wadu no. Wasi emra afi obekọ senior high school no abehu de papa ene de enye papa. Sabre no. Na wo hwe de ne papa ne ye na. Na wo hunu se sabre no wo hu papa ene bone no. Na nkedi so otwe no ho ana ne papa de na hyema wie deda.
Oh. Se na usa na onim de wiase kwa ene wanyini. Ana wanyini nso anye bia betete nsem bi abonten se one papa eye bibisa eye chiwade. To hu sana wanyini de se nkedi sa tan akusina high school de hokura no. E mo adwen san ma papa no so biu. E den a na mfo be unum bedi nkomo. O be chiro de wiase ko. So ma adwen sa bo chiri na sade na wo ye na ya wo de. Jaye nyai.
O se be ne de.
Ben da on ti sabon ti we bi na papa de no be ma.
Se be ne de pa.
Ayo da ti sabon ti. O papa de no be ma. O papa de we ade kwa me kwa no e tabu kese pa na papa mo ye ne sa no. Se nyame adum ne se ne watu edu senior high dia. Hallelujah. E ba na sa do papa tabu kese pa na mo ye no. Ade ehu na mo ye di nyame mpe. Ana mo ye.
Okay, enti yentie de ekoso one ne papa entem.
We're having, our usual escapades. It continued, and then I got into the university. And then I met a man. I met the man of my dreams.
Wasi one ne papa koso ye ya kosi se okosuapom university. Na sabra no university wo no kosia be ma oda na koma so be ma ope be ma sabi ono as lady no o hwehwe wa na brabom. Enti sa be ma no ode ne be kire ne papa no nim se ne papa empene so, but this time around ne papa eje be ma ne tum adanya a so se be ma e di ono no aburo kire no ote. Enti so oware mpo na mekoso a no ayede be ye.
I met this guy that had everything that I wanted in a man. Physically, character, everything. So I fell in love with him. What even made me love him more was the fact that he was the only man who had come into my life and had not asked me for sex.
He was God-fearing.
Yes. To the extent that he even promised to wait till after marriage.
You accepted?
Yes.
Why?
Accepted because he's the only man who has not asked me for sex. And he has been nice to me, caring, providing for me, everything. So I accepted.
But I thought you said you had become addicted to sex.
Yes. But I was not bothered with the fact that he didn't want to have sex because my father was there.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay, enti osi sa university guy yo kwesiani. Na ni baje no ho ye pa se ono ne be ma no aba na kwan ma o musa na sesabi opeso ono ne dampo da. Na ni baje no ho ye pa. Ana sofu busa na se na se wo kure na wo so ya addicted. Wo yo bi asabi enna aba ba ya wo de ye pa na o se an. Nanso na ha me because if we say me papa wo ho a menim se metimi ne no have sex intino. Na ha me kra. Asemo.
So we're in the relationship and then it got to a time and he proposed. When I was in my final year, he proposed. So I took him to my father. My father accepted the guy. Initially, I thought my father would not agree since he doesn't like other men coming to me. But he agreed to the marriage. And when the guy left, he told me it's because the guy doesn't live here with us. The guy doesn't live in the country. He lives outside. He just comes and goes. So my father told me that is why he accepted the guy, because he doesn't live here with us, so we can have time to do our things. So after school, we got married. But then, the eve to my wedding, my father and I had sex.
The eve to your wedding?
Yes. My father and I had sex and...
The eve to your wedding?
Yes.
That means the engagement ceremony had already been done?
Yes.
And you were married, though? So it's
Yes.
just having the wedding?
The white wedding.
The white wedding?
Yeah.
Your father had sex with you?
Yes. And he made me promise him that I was not going to abandon him or leave him because I've gotten married. That I was not going to stop sleeping with him because I've gotten married. I also promised him that I was not going to leave him, even though I'm married now. After all, my husband doesn't live here.
Bema. What you be?
Ai, metibi.
Who dear papa and banny ye? Papa no edgy to muse. Ne banny worry mine because ne banny entina Ghana has say. Ne bano Bema no obewarren entina Ghana ha brochen what ye. Into a beco sweat minin at Champena. Ampa abaya no chrese emra odu ni final year Bema no ebe say ne pe ekas wo beware no. Ama mu go ahead eye wedding. Na ade be chimi eye wedding no. Eye white wedding no. Na si aye Efie amamre de ni na we say ada ne papa ene ne die.
Papa no na adwen bom. Papa na adwen bom. Papa no nye papa. Papa no enye papa. Papa mu papa fon. Because oba na yes ade oba wo na yes safety ni kwala bre ma mo anyini so ana wanya be ma wo na plan say be ma no free Ghana into one wale so kwabro nya we sanya opportunity na de oya na wo ye
etimi ne nada
asebum papa bi fo bi pa de
se ne be no betimi ne nada nti ene ware no
nko
o ware na we den betimi ne nada
asebum.
After the wedding and honeymoon, husband spent some time here with me and then he went back. Few months later, I found out I was pregnant. I was happy, my husband was happy because finally our family is complete. At that time I was staying with my father. I was in my father's house, a house that I supported him build after school because I got a good job. I got a good paying job. So I was staying with my father because my husband is not here. Even though he has built a house in Kumasi, I was able to convince him to stay with my father in Accra so that at least I have a relative around me. When I had my baby, few weeks later, my father fell ill. And then I had to juggle work, taking care of my baby, at the same time taking care of my sick father. It was tedious, but I could handle it. It wasn't that serious since I didn't have much to do. So all this while, my husband has been coming and going. He comes like every 6 months, sometimes 3 months.
Abane chrese afei tama aware ne koso ewie ya bibia ya bema no esan call back no osan etu kwan no e ma free okwan bema no can spend some time with them na akire obehu se wafa afuro emro obehu se wafa afuro na ni giye pa bo bema na mane bema na so ani ejeye emra wafa afuro no se sa tem no na one ne papa na te sa tem ni na bema no ko etu kwan no ne papa na te fie sa fie no one ne papa ina na kan musika bom esi efi se emra owie university no na adwuma oye na sika eba ne sam no eye kama pa e wo musa na ne kunu no e wo fie e wo Kumase ase ama ne kunu ne person ko ba betena ba to ka se ne be na enye ono nko a no at least obenya busuani bi aka ne ho nti no opese one ne papa tena ne kunu ne tiase ana one ne papa tena ye emro ba wo ye pepepe no ana ne papa sha ase so oyare nti ama adwuma sam ne papa yare ne ba no e how ba no so pa nenso okurakura mu kakra sa ewo ma na ne papa ebewu ye ne papa we na di se ne kunu eba down no mbe ya yie ho totoe ne ade ne kunu ne bai a wo mutu sa na mo ni na.
When my baby was a year and a half old, I found out I was pregnant again.
With the second child?
Yeah, with my second child. But unfortunately...
Emra ne papa, ono onya, owo ya, obenya afe ene fa no. Eno hu so osan anyim biem. Kwase na be ma no, etai eba bosumi nsia ne bosumi miensa bia ebu abosumi miensa no ababu abosumi nsia no waba ne kunu no a waware no wa buruchire no. Sa abre no ma no ana ne papa enso be free mu.
Fortunately, I lost my dad at that time. I lost him few days after I found out I was pregnant with my second child. So my husband came down for the funeral preparations. And it was during that preparation that a woman showed up claiming she's my mother. But the least said about her, the better.
How did you know she was your mother?
She came to me.
Ose tamamo be ye ne papa ayie no tamamo boabo mo ho abaye ne papa ayie no sa bra na maame bi ayi ne ti ebeda ne ho adi kire ne say me ba ne ho but no ompe so be kana asem ompe so be kana asem kra ana sofo buza ne say de na hu say o maame a ana so oba ne nchen be ka kire no ana afa nso no hu say no osene ye pa odi yenti.
Did you by any means notice any resemblance?
Yes, I did. Okay. I do look like my mom so much. Yeah. After the funeral and everything was settled, my husband went back. So we went back to our normal lives. My husband coming down to spend time with us whenever he can, whenever he gets the opportunity. Now, this is where the problem is.
Very good. It's about to go down. It's about to go deep down. According to Abaya and Wasi, Amro mo ye ni wie ye no. Afei ni kunu ene ne be settle kakra. O ma na ni kunu na akọ no abanti o mo be settle ya na eja be ma no aba be ka kom ko so ni papa no ne tin awu aja no. Na o se ha ana asem no asem be na wa hanti a e mo de e baaye. Ye ntie.
My husband is filing for the kids and I to join him.
Ni kunu no yankrata sem se obema ne ma no mienu no ene ne yere na ba be kan ho awa abrochire. Sankrata sem na ye no edisom ko DNA test. Wo mo ko DNA test a ne first child no enya ne dia. Ne second one no ena ye be ma ne dia. Ono so na bra bom nyina mema tu pe ena ono mada. Eye ne papa ene ne kunu.
There. But for the filing process, they have to conduct a DNA test. And when the results came out, my first child is not for my husband.
The first child is not for your husband?
Yes.
And the second one?
It's for my husband. We did the DNA test again, and it was the same results. Now my husband is broken, he's shattered. He's at the verge of committing suicide. He does not reply my messages. He does not answer my calls. Sometimes he will call on video call and you see him drinking himself to death. And at this point, I do not know what to do. I am shattered. I have regretted everything that I've done.
The two children, which of them does not belong to your husband?
My first child.
The first child.
And now my husband says he's coming down to take the kids himself to the hospital to conduct the DNA test again. And now that's the problem. How do I tell? Because in my life, I've slept with just two men, my father and my husband, which means that my first child is for my father. So how do I tell my husband that my father is the one responsible for my child? If it were to be an outsider, it would have been easier.
Hey, if you see who or see, omukwaya test no DNA test no ono no kwaya ye ne kunu ne ma na ne kunu da so abrochire ho. O ma ye first one e wo hospital we amfoi. O ma kwaya second one amfoi. Sisi abema ne pese wo fi abrochire ho ba. Na ono ankasa besan conduct DNA test ne ebiem. Wase na brabo mu nyina mema tu no ne omada ne kunu ene ne papa say ye bema bi kura outside the box kura nka ha ne kese nke be easy ama no wo ye de ka che ne papa say ne kunu ne say me papa ana first child ne eye ne dia me ba chaw advice be na wo de obay fa comment ne to ne nka ma wa wo betumi aka ana say wuntimi enka duabo wo be kan na wo nka
oh
afutuo be na wo de madam
ne die futuo no man ne say we no aye samampom se twini o de no bom a oni bewu wa moma wusi bewu enti ne menya bom aba ko because wo ka obejao wa anka obejao enti ka ne nyaawo
na
honto because wa anka be man anka sa de ahomtie fre beti ba me hu sai e uma abufu no ka be sa ye mo
wose be man no timi sane video e kire na ofra be man na onfa e che se on answer ne messages bia onye bibia na awehosam ne se be man timi ye video kire na se onno nse ku no ho che se be man na ayo so che se unhu ni oye on timi hu why ade ne disa me ware na sabi obi ne da anyinsen no na me first child akwa ye enye me ba be man na ne ya
nti beta wanka no mo ntwa take body abufu no be mo wanka no ntuna adwim
wanka nchen wo abruchire ho
wanka no ntuna adwim no nakora ma na mi na say ndia ba ko pa me fa ne ko na say ne wura no nti aka no so no o ne wura me fa ne nko
zia anti ni papa eba
asa papa na wunti me fa no ko she fo mo bie
edi zia no duabo ofa ne ba no so ko she fo
so bia fa ne ba ko
zia ne ba no be friend se ndi one ne papa wo no be friend se
no
ne papa
dada nana
How do I face the world when they get to hear that I had a child with my own biological father?
Se die mpa na wiase kura nipa be kan fa no ho so mote say one ne papa nkasa ewo ya.
I do not know what to do. That is why I think the best option for me is to end it all.
Around, where is your mother?
As for my mom, what I did to her at my father's funeral, I don't think she will ever look for me or come close to me. I don't know what to talk about her.
Okay. Did your brother come for the funeral?
No.
So you don't know whether your brother is alive or dead?
Yeah, we don't know.
Obusane say na rawo maame we. O se ne maame de odi ye ne pa wo ne papa na ye na se no. Onye sure se ne maame ne be hwe na chiri kwampo da. Ana ono mpo mpese obeka na asem da. Na obusane say na anya bia unu aba ma ne oba ye ni bia na o se da bi. Matene nka o se da bi.
We don't have any information about him.
And you say he joined a bad gang?
Yes, he did.
When you were younger, you didn't know any of the things that your father was doing to you. And so you were quiet. What about when you grew up? Why didn't you stop it?
I couldn't do anything about it or talk to anybody because my father kept blackmailing me emotionally.
How?
He kept saying that I'm the reason why he's lonely. He doesn't have any woman in his life because he doesn't want to bring in any woman for the person to maltreat me like the previous one did.
So for Busane say, Tamana usane de na wunim de ekoso. But when you de hu ada na akoso to aso. Was say na ne papa eta ka kire ne san. Wunim se me ni obi aka wonkwan wo ho. Enti asesa enti na manfo oba bia ma biem no. On se me hye obo se me fo oba bia ma mpanso manfo oba bia ma. Me ni obi agi se wa. Enti sa ne mana ne papa keka no aya se na na areho ha no. Enti no course wa ne papa eto aso.
Aboa. Oya boa papa. We ne ntwem mu.
Olontodo.
We dwan so apomebe pa, ponche apomebe. We dwan. Do papa kana yo mobo. Na papa kana o papa kasa sin na yo mobo no ti hu nyanta say David ho semeba. Na papa kura de haram. Wa mo jara ne nam. Papa no
pa na sanko wote ase anke di so mutimi che no castrate ne pa.
We papa we
sano
Can I send get a him feel a man share upon swing? Near Channel Mawan at Chia or Canoa, so you trying to end no Canoa 50 as you. Yes, I started. You try to chairman papa then China a Makusam. Nedia fem. Then the church area. No, we are shim. No one can say what a man here, menem bado, because the other started Corano, my quarantine and that, and then someone catch a Corano, quarantine, Corano, and the son, the Shebra. Well, no, I want to ocean as one. Now, so she has a money correct one.
Was a crown cry?
I don't know what you got. Ah, what Jimby? What could you invest in and do answer? Eh.
At that point, when you know when the end, the engine went to me as a sour agony.
Oh, Ben, one hour day.
Are you a Christian?
Yes, I am.
Did you grow up being a Christian?
Yes.
Did you go to church?
Yes, my father was.
Yes, you said your father was
a church elder.
You didn't confide in any pastor.
Somebody was said, "Now you're Christian." I say, "Annie, now quite sorry." I say, "I say, none papa cry a church elder." I know since the now papa do you know when you did be a war. Elders need be more and found to many man. No, sir. Yes, so from cry when necessary. I say, yeah. So for no more master of no more crop here to me tonga. I
didn't confide in any pastor.
Pastors.
What about pastors?
Even the pastors were coming after me, you know. My father even got into a fight with one pastor because of that. He wanted him to stay away from me, but he didn't want to listen. So I didn't have anybody to talk to. If the person you want to talk to himself wants a piece of you, how can you tell them?
Why did you choose to marry your husband?
I married him because I love him. And he was the only man who was not interested in my body. He was genuine. He proved that he had true love for me.
And when you met your husband and you loved him, why didn't you stop with your dad?
Because I was addicted. I was already addicted and I was enjoying it. It has become normal to me.
In your life, how many men have you slept with?
2. My husband, my father.
Your husband and your dad?
Yeah.
Who does the first child look like?
The first child looks like me, so you wouldn't know.
And the DNA proves that the child does not belong to your husband?
Yes.
Samo, or say Nebano, first one of the or Senepa, or so no ankasa. Tia bedding, so bet me actually. Asamno ask him. Se wo pan na se binka no papa e wo ba. Ana sa situation e ukomu bia. Ukunu ba be DNA test biem. E die mpa na abaye obeka kire no ana wonka. Obaba amane ana wontimi ma amane. Your last voice ni ye wi adua bobekasa.
So imagine your husband wants to come and pick the second one alone and leave you and your first child. Is that what you're avoiding?
It's not about me avoiding him taking the other child. I'm hurt at the fact that I've hurt my husband because he's a good man. This thing has really broken him. And my fear is what he would do when he finds out the child is for my father and not even any random guy.
You are familiar with the Twi language. So
yes.
I want to address you in Twi. Me person me mount here say achia so wuye. If you right now, ujina ekon kesiano. And this one has fulfilled scripture. The wages of sin is death. What one you are dead inside of you. So when the Bible says that the wages of sin is death, the Bible means it. Number 1, onipa ne huye bufu in your story. Your irresponsible mother. O mami, ne huye mobo story. You left your daughter. I mean, sometimes I don't understand some women. O baba no weja o baba. Ama bema son titelo. Bema automatically oba. Number 2, o papa, how irresponsible you could be. Say, onim so one ma e wo fie ankola na fe no musiso. No ode ma ebe fie. Sometimes they are doing some kolani, but and this should be a lesson to every mother and every father. How you lay your bed is how you lie on it. Send your best so kettle, son our bedas, and our papa evil. What will let you know, so papa? They are not knowing a covenant. And he said, have you realized that the moment you gave birth, your father died? Because he had committed the most abominable thing on earth. So if John the Baptist is there, Jesus has to go. If Jesus is there, John the Baptist will have to go. And that is why your father went. Because he had abused God's power for his life. You are in a serious dilemma. How to tell your husband that the child, I don't know how to say it. And I don't want to accuse you. You were lured into this. For the first time, I am feeling very guilty talking to your situation. Because we knew how to address your issue. And it's sad. When you have a child for your dead father, I'm not here to condemn you, madam. But anyhow, we will solve this matter. I want you to know, sir, this is your matter. It is beyond me. We need to get counselors and psychologists to talk to you. You are going through hell.
Hey, Evans Stando was said the man have to be castrated for him having sex with his own daughter, but it's unfortunate he kicked the bucket. Moreover, the husband should leave the lady, and she should tell the husband the truth. Vida Asante, please, just tell your husband about it. I know it may be difficult, but just try. Please don't kill yourself. Emmanuel William Sam will say good afternoon to you all. Watch you live from Amsterdam. Yeah, that's it. Bema. So for say, I know what demon. This will your psychologist for any idea or more counsel no kakra. Because abani go to a lot. Abani so person no or general crown confident in some.
We psychology baby. We psychology ni fi na ba. Wa ba na ngase na de nyamran se mo ntwe na so as psychology. We see e twe na chiu. Adebo no so do kwan fi na we twi wachi. E twe na ntwe obi agu so. E da tete na ogum. Adebo so mpamo no.
Oh, awesome.
Ana na papa sa mai pamo no. Wo jimi na akire wudwai. Wo do SS. De o ye do ngase no se enye. So wo so no hu na do SS. Oko university. Terezu wa hu.
Ne papa wo nyo be ma bia o.
Papa no we hwan ya.
Oyo. Ya kansa magu aso.
Oba Judas. Ana ye so abofo Yesu. Dabi me kwa me se na me si kwa ngam papa kwa funu ngam sa kodutu. No mperim de jatu mahye no. Na se me start to me ama kotutu ni funu no. Asa no mpena go de jatu mahye no. Ma hyewa ma wo sa ma akora be hu se yes. De woni me ye no afina me hu se say na wodi ma bro. Serious. We nya psychology akase bia.
Enti udi ohu ni se oba na anya de.
Wa anya de.
Me de me blame papa no.
Papa be na blame no.
Papa no na ye. Papa wo ase.
Na enti wo ya de we nyina enti wo namfo nam adwomu no kurumba no. Ti mu bia se papa de me Efie. Na obi so nya ama agwa na se de bi ene ye opa ye fa no police station. Na fa no fa ha.
Onim se emotional obi betimi a blackmail wo ma wo ya wo ho hwe ye. Obetimi aka asema ma na to so ma chekere wo ase. Asa wo de ne ka bi enti edi so utua ne ka.
Oboa. Blackmail ya hwan na aka no.
Unim se obi betimi aboa wa ma edu papa so bi asa wo de ne ka enti edi so wo ye bibi ededa na se.
Ene se nka ma de nkomu nya me mada.
Enti ma bebre na de ma mo kosa anso hwem no obi wo ha. Oba betimi ka se ni asimasi aboa me ache no ene se no wasi aye me no. So be ma ne e ka se ebia o me pesanka one me da ba ko bia. Ontimi mpus anye da bida. Bosha onu akura timi ka se edi se me bibi de da na se.
Bosha ye she mare nyina adu abi mjae. Be ma ko fo ba nsem de baka gu na sumpa no. Enso du anu bra. San sempa no. Otimi reference money for jimi ko de do ya mame. Wa na shene kawa. Wo de show ba umne bo silete. So ntoko ba ko so onu hia kwa nto pin kura ma no. Enwe fise kawa hede nsa. Ni wi fise kawa hede nsa. Na kawa ni pin de na boarding. Enti do the idea man no meka no nya bi ni we o ba na ejimi wo na mfo bebre e don't think ancho be say the wom
why I didn't disobey ma
eyo
because media
me bremu no
papa ni na ejimi
me bremu no ma bremu no awale ne begu we awale we nya de be
but I say na me hia manfo adwenkyere mpa chama mo Facebook no wo ne be ma na anka be koso aware na to me pan de efa ba bi nka me find a place in my heart na me de ache no
ene wodi asola akodi em se so for the preaching no ya anyem no boso menkron yes no free so be si form
oh after all you obi no ne kodai wanya de but nipa na wo blame no kra no
na me yire
odi sanse mu wawu
me yire kra makoko nani na mba papa kwa ode kwatere makra fre ni so apepa so ma na free am no be jai me yire makokeke ekọ nani na me ba papa odi nso ohuru me yire kwa me no be jai
adenti
wo nsa na wana juja
enti se o papa o yiri wu na so ne papa be boa na ba ne den
no kra penalty me de me sa awale ntamu jini padisa na nyini padisa o awale ntamu o yire yire egu na ya frofon so aseme ni da ko hema me force nebra wa pa de o hwe na atwam de o pa na ni hwe no atwintwam obi hu fresh na dwuma ba ne tirim kaza me chiro no o mam de o pa hwe na atwintwam de o ko fa no mono o ba ni boss pe aseme ba ne betirim
ohire ba KB ene grusa GH Hassan ene ora Emmanuel Sam afenso stando me pa cha mo fa mo comment ne mra me say wa woni be man oba no be koso atena ho ana se obeja na chidie eduabo de osesempo kokra kwa ne yire ni na se ne papa de ne katrema kra kofo na ni so ana de safa so oboa na waja no stando Evan stando was if I'm the man I will leave her onu anko beja no oh stando kan hunu say enya be ma foforo bia o se ne papa
dabi u papa no ajenkwa Christ na netina ya na
papa na wo no
na me Yesu kura na ne
papa na why mistake and what this ansem hunu o sabi ne kwase ansem and wa wu no wako why don't you forgive the lady
me wale ko na me nya wo na Yesu kwa ka jem se wona me yire da obenya wo na ba na se Yesu da so se wona ne da owi am meto aso ha wo be ba Yesu fa
oh ohine ba Kevin so me mpa wo dey say I will take care like that be father sa dey via yard pa Grusa GH Hassan said the lady should have told someone about what she was going through. Yes. Nanke this obo bia mane say oh
anya me ka no akọ secondary school akọ university we want to kan chiro bia eya wo de
ohine ba KB was say asemo this is serious.
Ene de
Anna Grusa GH Hassan said this issue is serious.
Ene de say asema nye particular onye hu
there be osi ebeye ne de okan osi ebeye ne de e ma ne beye possessive afa no bi kura ba ne papa ho ana ya
ebeye o de ya fa pa ya mso mfa me ho we asemi wo ebeye o da o pawu to alfa mo na mso mfa me ho
satam no jimi ba wa hu ni say why mistake
why mistake mso ma jimi pa me why mistake a mso wa fa no ne ba won so me we few
ya bi da asa oduabo wo de ne do si fa ne de asa wa fa de we personal
o da bi na personal asem na ehu nya ko betena so betena chirem ehu nya ndo betena chirem no me da bia me ka me se me yere me girlfriend me nua kura woni na do sakoto ni se me hu a panic kese pa na even kwa wo chan kwa me 1 second e bia na wuti ni nsem hwe e ma adwen guto me kitikiti o e de se bofra abere o to fon apaw na pai woni oni mo na nga wuti mana yi wo utim tofun we ma wo yere we beta to ma yere o no bi asane ne credit 1 cedi wo fledge ma ba saka kire se bra wo kuoi na no adamfo na wote ase no ato credit 1 cedi ma mti ya san dana se mame wo atofun 1003 ma no onya fa de se da ma o wo se san dana se wo na dana se ma pa wa ya de pa wo atofun de onya hwe ne se ne je wa asire mu cha wo 1003 no media dabi dabi video ba de o yes a dem no be ja pa ntentem pa America so hwe o de o fa wele ko she memu brukata be che wo no hu via ba se ba ko chire nya se via ba se u jan dodo gina ada tu me kasa media ba de dabi diwe se no be man enya bia no mfa wa nana
o to me de anka onka nchire no na onya bibia ma
no mfa na wo dem ko musen na ba we adin na we de na qualify na wan fa na be man ko chire musen so adam people say o de nkola nyina ba na pani ya da mfana ma wo kire mu san me was out.
Oh, paying in the dear. There's so many ways of paying in the dear.
So many ways.
Yeah, person otna Ghana na.
It's sir.
Oh yeah, na say nya obi a your bank one not me the kwa bruchiri. There will be a way between the nako. Ubetimi the nako say enyo ba.
I will go in for them for you. Yes, I would dear. Upa the Japan mammy yabi. The way your mammy or Japan bakokra. When you start saying you're not in cancer at your bandia sign. Not as about me, we did has you. We will be kuno.
Very good. I like it, Enoch. Enoch Ajiman Kwekwa said the lady is innocent, please. Hey, Kafro. Say your innocence. Was it the lady is indecent, please? I thought he said innocent too. Or God was say indecent. I go for I say I was for Arawo. Yara was some bet me at to be yeah, the stories be say by na yensu ya from of to do body was say Oban de nkatinton time woni ni hwiye biem wonso so me momo de e be me ya but in a way nkam de be chere no ma fan back after all on far be me on apart from the papa no sabi you yesi anibo ekotrim
za
anibo ekotrim
na broni so ne ma sa gupum e mu so dan so wontimi nka e woni tirim huh?
Enya obi foforo ne di ye.
Emuso dai.
Ne papa bomusuo kese pa.
Say muso dai.
We will never encourage anyone so onye bi da.
Me nye wonya fa papa otimi an papa dan de. Obeta for any time bia opebia.
Get involved in this art. It's an abomination. In this obi aye bi da. But I will plead say Bearman no on fanche to me. I'll plead say Bearman on fanche.
What you know?
What's way?
Me.
That's what they can make it clear.
What the check on what Jimmy? Because we don't know what father what there. Or Pampo when slow. Anyone by
at least the lady has taken cue. I taking the lesson from this. What's your BBA from you? Why so devastated? Why dejected?
Hey.
I say,
hey.
Can't you see it? Why feel so remorseful?
Sir. Uni maung. Na go bitimi wale.
We understand so person ko no person ho duro okono ma duro wu akune mana kan.
Mama tell there.
What else again?
Anything no about timi ware. Wona ni kuna konto kwa sa be busan say there dia. We wure ma say ni kuna am password ma onimi ye. The former boyfriend bi o te ba bi na wan wan no. No akọ no ye dwuma no no. Adwuma wo timi ye ne paso no. Former boyfriend na ye. Ade a wo be ma ni so. Wono de no so.
Eduabo wa setena be ye.
Enti oba de enye oba ni sa.
Enye se wo ji.
De no oba na ye no.
Oba na nu no ho. De no say eti wo free say in future no betimi asan ye biem.
The other pay no e bia wontimi yesa ma no to ba ya nkoja ma wetimi opa the same time no wato agu
okay you have a point
enti me de akomete no me no ntena na ma be nkwa wale nyai ubusan say dey say hi me nkwa no no me bo bebre sa obi no wa ya wedding paper so ne former boyfriend na wait one na wa use nsa egusu wi su ne bebre ya omo yire wonu ntu kwai we ko mo se ne on fufura asan o mo jai no ko kan kan kwasi asem man kase be mo ade ko tana burochire na me ntimi ntra enso oba wa nu so tinga na oba wa unim edu oba do committee na committee ja no oba de se odwa hu nchini hu oba fa bombo ntum oba kwasa aba nwura o se me ba
abusafo ya bada mu nyina amase onso wadwen kire ene sei ohun se boys ni ebi a kire o madwen pa but e kamia se ye mema papa na anya de eti wo de mo miamfa ne se so fa be ma foforo bi nsu no ne ye ya anka mo beje nka mo obeje okofa be ma foforo bi ana one ne ye na enye ne papa anka no beje atu
ni nyina bye bye
na wo so na wo ye wo so be ma ne na wo koye ya anka oba no so
wo ba no be ko wo ba
emema mo ye dance ma ne nkonya mo
wo bua oba ba ka so na ni wu kura
mo ye da you know opa oyini ba kebi we nka me be pon but we there Evan Stando Grusa GH Hassan Ohireba KB Enoch Ajiman Afenso Kennedy ma wo se Kennedy nso aba ana wura Imano Sam monka no kre ye be ma ye mema ne yekoye sa de we ya mo de mum yenyi so ne papa koye sa na ntonchen ye ne yekowo wo nchen de ba ya anka be pa ba ne che so ne ye ntena
Sa.
Anko ba ne ka so kwa ke be pa ne che so ne entranka ma no omuhu ya mobo ne yetena da. Omugitum ne yetena. Ye die ye nya da meboa. Monka no.
Oba tiri mo de che be ma. Woba so don say den. Na san go sin adan for pe na wote ewa agu. Oba ka to press umumi won. E na wo sire me no te wo mpe. Wo sa ko pe madam fo. Oba ja o. Oba ka to say madam fo na pefa. Na ya oba ha wurade yankopɔ o maame sɛ tane e dane na e o maame wo ba e ne fele kura sɛ wo no maame awo o san no metena na me se wo pɛ no ono akasa dafo na damfo nyini ni o na damfo wo se ne pɛ na sɛ na dafo nya bold aka nya sɛ wo kunu abɛpɛ mi o wo no bejae oba to atena wo sɛ wo damfo nie wunie wo abusa wo mi no anim sɛ madam me kunu wo ko madam fo yi
Owura Williams Emmanuel William Sam was say Aye Hu. The lady must leave or she has to buy 10 goats. Sheep for the husband. The husband must not leave her. Oh, that's it. The husband must not leave her. That comment alone. The husband must not leave.
If you are saying about
on panic,
tie. If you are about to go turn for me fie.
Evans,
what was the budget? Then cham crab pam chocolate majao. Someone miensa.
Okotosi bone then cham ebe power chawa.
Someone who's intimate you. But if for to go chima kwa 10. We 4 na 10. The baby pam chocolate stay. You know bejai.
Guys, I am asking you, sir. Someone mo yes, sir. Anka, will you plead to the lady say on Montana? That is the question I want to. Also, more dodgy asemuno. A man who accept him back there. Yeah, comment
your baby on town. Or baby to on town.
Enoch Ajiman Kweku was say, but for me, I will accept the lady. Yes. I feel I walk aside.
Or baby no to comment it.
Ever stand I say the woman is the woman. I said the woman. Okay, want to say is the woman is very wicked than the man. And I also say women are very wicked than men. Okay. And for that one there, no crepa. Anna Kennedy Sika ya branti. I say God bless you for your good works. Kennedy me pa me here we no me here that comment ne pay here me. Enoch Ajima say the man should take the second child to Europe and leave the mother and the first child in Ghana. Boys, it rewarding. Boys, it rewarding.
Oba baso.
Oba be buy, but Oba no buy, no, they not say. I will be asante. Mama, hear the message, you know. Only what I say, Onyano Honko. Bebe ni nyano Honko.
Ono Oba yan for no. Monsieur, Auku, we ga apele pa on. Na unu abotra, e ko pena damfo a. Na wote ya. Oba for atanase. One friend down for number. What you say? Asemesi. We so was in a pet. Now to when you yan no how agu. Like say on now pefa. Enu pokeku.
Jomoro man, ewo YouTube say I simply love this Diabo man. He always says the truth. Oh, Diabo. Diabo. Yes he do. Yes what kind of crepa.
Oh. Na no crepa ka che no. Nti wa asem we na to an tinga be for bay. Ibuzao.
Well no who. We're feeling so remorseful.
What's it?
We're feeling remorseful.
If you see it here, the public team who we are so as so.
Baby, no.
Yes, you could. Yes, you nanga sa go no go ndanye. Yes. Baby, I born say no no. Say ah. Be do we ase. O kan it ma to ante. That stay. Na ye tete forma.
O so kan do we say e be yanka makuru we impare me.
Eso ya go ngosiaga. Hey. Augu. Oba nya wo mfa wo nche wo.
Hey Diabo.
Oba mesi oba do sa diyen. Tie na meka kire no. Wona we de motifie. Odo pa o. Onim so wa si o. Onim o. Onim. But on man go say eh ukunu asemesi an. Na ba jiso no bia wo ase. Wo ti asem we ya pe wo musa o. Efiri okomodo ni na asa. Entoka ono be kono. Won ti ase da. Bo so ba kuti ankete. We bi ahwe. One day no jiga no dey atum. Wo say we papa ni pa no bia wo so say.
Abushafo na ukuda nchambo ni medimi ni nua be.
O me so kra. Simple man, me am no simple man we abokin me. Simple man no koda me kan. Dabi. Oba.
Okay, Mary ataso.
Oba kan wa baby kura onu wujai.
Dia body o yere dia me mani die. Onim no din sem hunu asabato no.
Me. Na bi yo na me dia sem na to ye janu bako.
Ye janu
bako. Me bako. Me se mana wo dasu ko edini kura na sati yi oba na san yema wo. Na me bobo. Me vi mo ye de na me boba na yema kama. Mu wi am aja ma me paje wa wi. Me se juma go jale ana. Se me
wa pe uba bia ma na bo.
Dabi me ko pepra ga ma no. Se ne man dozo. Me ma ko jale kwan se wonyera. Na me si ke me ne ko fia sumwi. Me bia ko fa na ndesi. Ibudam sa dia me se o mu se ono a. No no angasa mana mane. Ono a chire ma me se so dia mo angasa me ya we.
Yesi be ma bi na akoto se obi ne yere da ana o take picture. Ana onu dio ye wampa mo be oba no. Ana ono akọ plenty pictures ni bebre no de bo mo dan mu ho nyina ne ho nyina ana bobo ho. Oba na ntia ntra no ko.
Say di no na edi asem no. Ya nko. Ba wan sa gro ni boss wa na hima so.
Aba bi trumodi o. Ei, erade yakopom.
Me di ma wale de jale simple. Me no nko ntokwa.
Akwaro ba dem ho bia na ni abosra de ma hye no. Obrada na ni abosra na ma hye no. Na wajai. Okay. Enoch Ajimankweku was say the father blackmailed his daughter. It's true. Anna Evanston was say she doesn't regret. Okay. And after Kennedy Sikaya Brandt was say women don't forgive easily. Hey, Radia Kupom. Say man fa jekwa. Enoch Ajimankweku was say, oh, she was regret. Okay. He wanted to say she has regretted. Efie Grusa, so Grusa GH Hassan was say, what the man is saying is true. Because if it were to be the other hand, the lady will never forgive the man. So the man should forget about the lady and move on. Okay. Into Diabo. Grusa say ono ya adwen pa on forgetting no on move on. Ya di kan sign out the dabuchan for nyam ne pa wochana ya besan ehia biem back room phone na mejejefo metamfo kese ba ako abrante ba ako amia mesa ne nunum bantu anum na me de besa no friend say kwa na mro fi de di kra abrante yo ha adwen bi Dani mesa nunum bantu anum mebo nunum ba mi ya me de mensa si ne to kwan ma ne nya ne nan da akare yam for 5 days so ha de wapunu ne yemu nyina ba nyinya abrante ha adwen abusa fo peje mo ya me po chene besen ehia motidua boken kan na okuda nchambodie we are out. Thank you.